Hey guys, Tim with Texas Wild Outdoors here. So, I'm going to try something here. The other day, I went out on a pig hunt for the first time this year, and I took my Sitdrag, which I had bought last year. I'd never used it before, and I wanted to try. I took it out to try it out, see what it was like. Well, I wanted to see because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about the one stick method. Of course, they're all with a saddle, so I wanted to see how difficult it would be to do that with the Sitdrag. So I'm going to go out. I'm going to go ahead and put all of my stuff on, my backpack, take a stick, the Sitdrag, put my GoPro on my head and all that, just like I would normally be out there hunting. The only difference is I'm not going to be wearing my camo. I am wearing my rubber boots and all that. And I'm going to go out there and try to get up a tree and see how difficult it is with the one stick method on the Sitdrag. And I'm going to try to do that, see what it's like. And if it's not too difficult, if it's manageable, that's what I'm going to do when I go back out there and go pig hunting until I can get me a saddle. Of course, I'm going to have my harness on because it's a Sitdrag. It's not a saddle. It's not latched onto me. It's not a safety harness of any sort. So I will have my harness on with my linesman's belt and doing that. But I wanted to see how difficult it was going to be. And I'm going to take you along so that anybody else that wants to know this, you can find out. And we will know together how difficult and whether it's feasible or not with just a Sitdrag rather than a whole saddle, because I can't afford a saddle right now. I could afford a Sitdrag. Sitdrag's what I'm going to be using, and we'll go find out. Stay tuned. Right here's the tree that I decided to use. This one right here. It's basically a real life scenario here. It's got branches sticking out all in the way. It's going to be a pain in the butt to climb. It would be a pain with multiple sticks. Hopefully with one stick it won't be as much a pain because I can move the stick around and not have to crawl through the branches. I'm going to get the Sitdrag put on. I'm going to put the stick on the first level. I'm going to start climbing and move the stick up, and we'll see how difficult and how well it works. First thing I'm noticing is how difficult it is to get this Sitdrag around the backpack. still got to be able to reach the rope. This is where I'm going to put the, what I will do, I will climb up. See, now this is going to be a problem. Automatically swings me around. Probably would not be as big a problem if I had picked a more cleared out area. Because all these branches around me are like pushing stuff off of me. But this is the kind of trees that I'm likely to run into out here, so this is what I'm using. Okay, there's that. And if I could, there we go. So, well, see, that's too low. That's going to put me nearly on the ground. This bridge definitely needs to be shortened. Let's try. Let's try this. Okay, here we go. Now then, reach down, pull that up. And then set it back in here. Ready to get my foot on it. And while I'm doing this, I can take my linesman's off. Get it above these. Step back. And up. linesman. Normally, if it was a straight tree, I would just slide this up to where I want to be, like so. However, with this Y, that doesn't work because I can't get it high enough. See, I'm all the way back down below the thing. So I'm going to set my linesman right there. I got to take it loose again. Take it out. Move it over to one side. That. Hook that back in there. And move it up on there. I'll start to feel it. And sit back down. All right. There we go. That's why we use the liner, right there. Okay. So. I gotta take a minute because that wore me out. That was a difficult situation there. They left me hanging. Couldn't get my feet on anything. That's why, guys, always use your linesman's belt. Always be tied off in some way, shape, or form. I can't stress that enough. I work in the oil field, guys. When I work derricks in the oil field. When I go up on that derrick, I'm tied off 100% of the time. When I'm going up the ladder, when I'm getting off the ladder onto the board, when I'm on the board, I'm always got something hooked to me to keep me from falling. Sometimes it's not as tight as it needs to be, and I might be able to fall down a little bit, but I'm not going to fall all the way to the ground. So, and it's the same thing out here. There's so many videos of people falling, and I don't know if the camcorder can see me or not, but there's so many videos of people falling and not being tied off, and they end up broken back, broken legs, and can never hunt again. I don't want anybody to be in that situation. Like, I would never want to not be able to hunt anymore. I tie off 100% of the time. 100% tie off. As long be hooked to something. some way or another. Do what you got to do. There are times where, yes, you got to get your balance just right and move your lanyard around a branch or something like that, but that's a quick thing. You get it done, get hooked back up, and then you go on. You don't just unhook it and go ahead, because that's a bad idea. Granted, when I first unhooked, I was sitting in that Sitdrag, and that could have been a bad deal. I'll admit, I didn't think about that. I was thinking that the Sitdrag would be a good enough tie off. I was thinking about being tied off, but I was counting on a Sitdrag because I wasn't moving, I was sitting. So it could have been a bad deal if it had decided to go right then, but it didn't, and I got lucky, and it went off. It snapped when I was actually tied off right. So make sure you tie off, make sure you do things right, be safe, be careful. Now I got to get my stuff out of here, and I don't think I'm going to go hunting this evening unless I can find a way of fixing that Sitdrag. That was enough to actually piss me off. It was only $30, but still, I mean, I kind of expected that it would work better than that. So it's only the second time I've used it. Okay, so I just got home. I was looking at it to see what actually happened. So what it was the bridge snapped. The threads where this was folded over like this, it was folded around this loop and sewn back together like so. The threads on it is what snapped, and looking at it, I think it was shoddy sewing work is what it comes down to. It wasn't sewn strong enough. It's got one square with an X in it, which I suppose, I don't know, I've not looked into this kind of stuff, I don't know. I suppose, you know, if it was decent thread, that would have been fine. But everything else I've seen that needs to be holding something heavy, the thread, that right there is about that much longer, and it's, instead of just one X like that, it's like multiple X's through there. And I didn't intend on leaving this bridge on here anyway, but still, I am glad that I did have my linesman on. So, I mean, it probably saved me a broken leg at least, because I was about 10 feet up, I think, when it snapped. Maybe 8. It wasn't too high. I was just getting started, but I was high enough that if I had fallen without any preparation, I probably could have at least blown a knee out or something. And so, yeah, I mean, it tore my arms up scraping against the tree. That one's not bad. This one got the worst of it. The light is kind of blocking it there. Yeah, this one got the worst of it. There we go. There's a decent shot. But yeah. So, as I said, make sure you wear your safety gear. That's why I had a harness on, because it's not a saddle, it's not made like a harness. It's just something to sit in. So I'm going to wear my harness when I'm doing something like that. Make sure you do the same thing, guys. Make sure you're safe out there and be careful. And I will catch you next time.